In our headlines this morning, Solution Innovation District to commence Anambra Talent Mastery Cohort 2. Aisha condemns the activities of scavengers and ongoing Ndiukwenu Obo Rat project. Presidency faces heat as federal government prosecutes controversial DG. At least 13 people killed in most massive Russian attack on Kyiv. Monday sit at home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities. With renewed confidence and sustained peace, Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of the success story. A very good morning to you and welcome to our breakfast news this morning. My name is Sijoma Uche. During the last Monday's Anambra State Executive Council meeting held at the Lighthouse Oka, the council also approved the Solution Innovation District SID to commence Anambra Talent Mastery Cohort 2. The approval followed the success of Cohort 1, the abundance of tech talent in Anambra, and the rising global demand for digital skills and innovation. SID is Governor Chukwuma Soludo's government hub for technology and innovation, which trains, incubates, mentors, and supports innovators, startups, tech companies, and entrepreneurs to deliver solutions for Anambra's survival, growth, and technological future. Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Works and Infrastructure has condemned the activities of land scavengers allegedly destroying sections of the ongoing Ndiukwenu Obo Red project with heavy equipment. The committee met the condemnation during an inspection visit to the project site, warning that such actions could undermine government efforts aimed at improving infrastructure across the state. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata now takes it from here.
Led by the chairman, Engineer Imamwafo, stated that the matter would be reported to the state government for urgent intervention, while also commending the contractors handling the project for the quality of work done so far.
The drainages are very clear. In fact, there's no problem with the drainages. Everything about the silting have been done. Only the catch pit need to be freed so that there will be easy flow. So for now, the size of the road width, the carriageway, and all other interceptions, everything have been checked and is in order. The culverts, every culvert is flowing as normal.
The committee further inspected the 3.5-kilometer link road between Ibuku and Amishi, describing the project as nearly completed and satisfactory. As according to Engineer Wafo, the road has good width and carriageway with the drainage systems, culverts, and other interception structures properly constructed, except for a catchment area that still requires urgent attention. At the Abo Oboji Road project, the member representing Agwata 1 constituency, Honorable Anayo Baleke, thanked Governor Soludo for responding positively to the needs of the people through the construction of the road projects, and said the governor acted on their appeal for the road and ensured its execution.
I want to thank Mr. Governor for this wonderful gesture, and we know the remaining 5% is just minor maintenance and some flashpoints we noted. And I believe that within 1 month, the road will be completed, 100% with the road marked.
Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
The chairman of the Tricycle Owners and Riders Association, Prince Collins Ozojofo, has commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for easing the challenges faced by transporters in Anambra State. Prince Ozojofo observed that tricycle operators had previously experienced difficulties in operating in the state, but noted that the Soludo administration has introduced several measures that have improved their welfare, including the abolition of multiple taxation, the elimination of tolls, who extorted operators, and the reduction of their weekly levy. He also appreciated the governor for constructing tricycle parks at strategic locations and embarking on massive road construction across the state, which, according to him, has reduced damage to tricycles caused by bad roads and potholes, assuring the governor of their continued support to his administration. Prince Ozojofor, however, appealed to the state government to further review the weekly levy in view of the rising cost of fuel, which he said has continued to affect both transport operators and passengers. The presidency on Wednesday came under fresh public and legal scrutiny over the activities of Prince Adeyini Adeyemi, who has been charged with 8 counts of conspiracy, forgery, and impersonation before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Others says as human rights lawyer Femi Falana said the presidency lacked the constitutional authority to exonerate oneself in the matter and called for an independent probe of both the chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, and Adeyemi. The police had charged Adeyemi for allegedly operating a fictitious government agency, the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, forging a presidential appointment letter bearing the purported signature of Gbajabiamila and maintaining 34 bank accounts and the names of non-existing government bodies. The presidency, in a statement signed by the special advisor to the president on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, titled "Real: The Matter of Adeniyi Adeyemi Matthew and the Fictitious Presidential Economic Advisory Council," it gave an account of the criminal case, including the police investigation report and the charges filed, and what it described as Adeyemi's long history of fraudulent conduct. It also warned politicians against using the matter to attack the chief of staff. Nigeria's military says sustained intelligence-led operations are steadily weakening terrorist and criminal networks across the country, with fresh figures pointing to significant gains in the second quarter of 2026. Presenting the operations of the Armed Forces of Nigeria in the first quarter of 2026, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, disclosed that troops neutralized 662 terrorists and other criminal elements, arrested 1,084 suspects, rescued 951 kidnapped victims, and secured the surrender of 39 insurgents between April and June 2026. He said the operations also led to the recovery of 328 firearms, 12,590 rounds of ammunition, and the dismantling of 12 illegal refining sites. The Defense Headquarters reaffirmed its commitment to intensifying operations until peace is restored across the country, while urging Nigerians to continue providing credible intelligence to security agencies. Russian forces have launched a major drone and missile attack on Kyiv overnight, killing 13 people in what the city's mayor has described as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital. Vitaly Klitschko declared Friday a day of mourning and said around 90 people were injured. He said an ambulance station was among the places hit in the strikes, although previous attacks have caused more victims or seen more weapons deployed. This latest barrage hits locations over a very wide area of Kyiv. Several neighborhoods were evacuated as strikes rocked buildings throughout the city, hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned Russia was preparing an attack. Russia said its forces hit what they called military plants in retaliation against attacks on Russian civilian infrastructure. Ukraine accused Moscow of targeting civilian areas and said it would be wrong to equate the actions of the aggressor and a country defending itself. And now from our sports desk, the Nigerian Federation of American Football has announced that Nigeria's men's, women's, and under-13 national team will compete in the 2026 Flag Africa Continental Championship in Nairobi, Kenya, from July 9 to 11. The tournament marks the third NFL Flag Continental Championship held on the continent, following editions in Nigeria in 2024 and Egypt in 2025. And this year's competition will for the first time bring together men's and women's national team from 5 countries: Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa, alongside the CODE Under-13 Youth Tournament featuring 10 player sports from each nation. The event is held in partnership with the NFL and authorized by the International Federation of American Football, with local support from the Kenyan Federation of American Football. The NFAF said it looks forward to building on the experience as it continues to developing flag football in Nigeria. The sport, one of the fastest growing in the world, is set to make its Olympic debut at the Los Angeles 2028 Games. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS from many parts of the world via our website at www.absradiotelevision.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channels on ABS Radio Television. Follow us on our social media handles at ABS Radio Television on Facebook, ABS Radio TV on Instagram and X. Top stories once more as we conclude this news package. Solution Innovation District to commence CODE Anambra Talents Mastery Cohort 2. ASHA has condemned activities of scavengers on ongoing Ndiukwenu Obo RET projects. Presidency has faced heat as federal government prosecutes controversial DJ. And finally, at least 13 people have been killed in most massive Russian attack on Kyiv. Remember, Monday sit-at-home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities. With renewed confidence and sustained peace, Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of the success story. And that's our breakfast news for this Friday morning. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sijoma Uche. Do have a good weekend.